What's going on, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. So yesterday I received my package from Sparks Toyota, the TRD air filter, and I put it in last night. Didn't make a video because you guys have seen me take it out and put it in on a couple other videos, so pretty simple stuff. You open the box, take the old one out, put the new one in, latch the box down, done deal. So this morning I drove to work and of course had the placebo effect of feeling like the truck felt better. But it brought me to a couple points I wanted to make and go over a few things with you guys. Now, in talking with some of you about intakes, which is one of the most popular conversations I have, there's a few, but intakes is definitely up there. Okay, so it really depends on what team you're on. Are you the people that never want to use the oil filters because you feel like it messes up the mass airflow sensor? Or are you the people that use the oil filters because you think that is a hoax and a myth? I am on the side of, I'm not necessarily on the side of thinking it's a myth, but I've never had a problem. I've used tons of oiled filters from all different brands, TRD, Volant, K&N, just to name a few. Never had one problem, multitude of vehicles. So really, the question is for you guys, what do you think? What side are you on? And I would love to hear from some people that actually had an issue with it. I feel like if you're going to have an issue with it, it's not going to be when you get the filter out of the box and you put it in. It's going to be if you're a person who re-oils it, and maybe you re-oil it too much. So I would love to hear what you guys think about that. Another question somebody asked me is a TRD intake worth it, or is any intake worth it? I will tell you one thing, in the Tundra especially, when you have the paper filter in there that you get when you buy the truck, all right, you don't get a whistle or anything. But when you put in a high-performance air filter, you get the whistle because more air is rushing through that gasket. So you're definitely getting more air to the engine, and that pretty much proves it right there. But, you know, just it was one of those things last night where I popped the hood open, changed out the filter. One thing I always do, and I suggest you always do to prevent any future issues, being preventative owning a vehicle is the way to go for everything. But one thing I do is I always tighten down all my connections. I make sure all my connections are tight and everything's good. So, you know, I went and looked at all the nuts and the bolts and stuff for the intake and making sure it was on perfectly and there was no problems. But in a vehicle, you always want to check everything. You know, one thing to always check too is the sway bar. Just make sure it's always tight and good. You don't want that coming off while you're driving or loosening up or anything. But yeah, so overall the question is, what side are you on? Do you believe in the non-oil dry filters, or are you oil filter guy like me? And if you had problems, I would love to hear about the problems that you've had. Other than that, absolutely happy with the new TRD filter, and then placebo or not, it feels like the truck's a little more powerful, gets up to speed a little better, and makes the air intake sound a little meaner. So yeah, comment below the video or find me on Twitter and Instagram at Tundra234. Guys, have a great day.